And welcome to the Enforcer. What we have here is a power lick, and if you don't know what a power lick is, please watch the video below this video first and then come back to me right afterwards. What we're dealing with here is a legato only power lick. So we're just using our left hand and we're only using the right hand to go from string to string basically. So if you're playing on one string, which you saw me do just a couple of seconds ago, then you're only using your left hand really, giving your right hand a break. It's very fast and it's comprised of little elements, you know, gears, and these gears are only one string gears on 3 notes. So instead of building a sequence using 6 notes, I've done it using 3 notes on 1 string only. And that really makes up a very, you know, the core of this power lick is actually very easy or relatively easy. Nothing's, you know, just easy, because then you can just do it. But it's relatively easy compared to most other stuff you can do on a guitar. And so you build one little simple gear on another and combine them in different ways, and thereby you create an almost endless amount of variety. Because what I've done here is I've taken 4 little simple sequences and then I've turned them around. But I've turned them around in a way that allows you to use the exact same pattern of movement in your left hand. But then you're playing something else because you're starting at a different point. So the ear hears it as a different sequence. So basically here we have something very manageable, 4 little tiny legato sequences that we then, using a little technique, create 8 from these 4 little sequences. And from these 8 we achieve an almost unlimited variety of combinations between these gears. And that's what makes this specific power lick so powerful. So let's look at the levels of it. Well, first of all, the speed is of course high because we're dealing with hammer-ons and pull-offs, and those are, you know, easy. Not easy, but it's compared to alternate picking, sweep, whatever, just name it, then this is very manageable to get up to speed. And I'm going to show you a way to do it that is absolutely bulletproof. If you do what I tell you, in a week you will really discover some amazing results if you do what I tell you. And anyone can do it. So, speed is very high. Difficulty, well, I just talked about that because we have these little gears here, only on 3 notes, using 3 notes on 1 string. Then the difficulty is actually very low. Of course, we can create an almost unlimited amount of combination of these, and that makes it, you know, a power lick. You can keep practicing. You can keep coming up with new ideas of how to combine the gears, and thereby add a new sense of control, a new sense of freedom as to what you can do with that hand. Complexity is high, as I said. It doesn't have to be, because you can take 2 very simple gears, combine them, and have something that sounds great, but isn't that complex. But when you have 8 little gears that you can put together in a, you know, if you took a calculator and really made that up, how many combinations you can do, then it's, you know, it's huge. Versatility, well, that's high because we're using 3 note per string little sequences, and we're just moving them, you know, horizontally and vertically. And so you can use them in any kind of scale you like. And you know, it's no different using it in a 3 note per string blues scale shape than it is in the diatonic major minor shape. Otherwise, you know, you have to stretch some more, but that has nothing to do with the power lick, right? It's the same thing, basically. Then we have the usability, and that's fairly low for a power lick, and that's because this is legato, this is hammer-ons and pull-offs, and hammer-ons and pull-offs work the best on an electric guitar with a clean sound and some compression on it, or an electric guitar with some distortion on it, which is also compression really. So if you're into metal, into rock, that kind of thing, then this power lick will be very usable. But if you go to jazz and fusion and, you know, other Spanish music, it might not be the best thing to invest all of your time in if that's your favorite stance of music. So those are the levels. And let's just run through how we're going to go through this program, because it's a very predictable process actually. We start with the simple little gears that you can really look at and say, okay, I can learn that, I can practice that relatively quickly. And then we move on to how to integrate these different gears. How to go from number 1 gear to number 2, or 1 sequence to number 2 sequence, how to go from 4 to 2 and so on. And I've devised some very simple exercises that you can start with to get that ability. Now what we have is the ability to stay in one place and then, go back and forth between these different combinations of notes, which is really cool, because now you can stay in one place and then just, do all kinds of variations. But the next thing is really, how do we move horizontally? How do we move vertically? Because now we have this little entity that, moves like, a little fish or something. Now we want it to move like that and like this, so we can create runs, right? We take that moving entity and move it around. And we do it in one way only. So we say, okay, how do we move horizontally? And we come up with a way that's the same every time. So your brain knows exactly what to go to when it wants to move in the horizontal way. And we do the same thing for the vertical. Once we've established that, we really should have the ability, right, to go in all directions. We have all the gears, we can create any run. But we don't stop there, because now we go horizontally on one string, because that's an ability you can get to very quickly. If you want to play fast, if you want to develop the ability to throw these fast runs into your solos, then one string legato runs is where you want to start, because that's the fastest thing to master. And once you have that ability to play fast runs, it's so much easier and you're so much more confident in building your other skills like alternate picking or sweep picking or whatever. But building that foundation so you can step into that area where you actually can deliver on that, sorry, once again, where you can really deliver on that part of the music and then, get the confidence and the pride from that, is really a great foundation for you building other skills like alternate picking, as I said. So, once we've done all the basic stuff and have that power league in place, I'm going to give you examples of 2-string runs where you can go back and forth like that. And just, expanding it to 2-string runs will really also expand the options you have and create new sequences with a new sound. Then we're going to do 6-string examples. And then in the end, I have phrases, which could be, excerpts from a solo. It has a beginning and an end. It's like, we take little phrases that could be played in an actual solo, and we study those and say, okay, we use gear 3 and 2 and 1 and whatever. Nowhere in the tabs is this skill that I'm promising you present, because it's all exercises, it's all examples. But at some point, when you practice the gears, you practice integrating them, you practice going back and forth horizontally and vertically, and you practice these examples, these exercises, along the way in the 23-page PDF that comes with this program. When you do that, then at some point, your body and brain starts improvising. And that's the best of the best. That moment when you just played a run and you just made it up on the spot and it sounded perfectly. That's really the skill that we want to get by practicing this program. And you can also use it just as a library, as a way of building your pre-composed runs for if you don't want to master this, but you just want to have it as a way of, okay, looking into, say, let's combine gear 4 and 5 or whatever, and then do a really cool run in this solo. Then you pre-compose it, you come up with something entirely new, but you're practicing the same thing when you're practicing it, right? That's the cool thing, or one of the other cool things about a power lick is that when you're practicing one gear in combination with another one, you can always use it in another context. So you're not just practicing one run or one lick or one technique, you are really building an enormous variety of options for yourself. So this program is a little bigger than the previous power lick. It's 3 hours and 45 minutes, so it's pretty meaty. And that's because we have so many options, so many things we can do. Make your choice, see if it's for you, check out the levels and maybe listen to my playing in the beginning of this video again, and then I'll see you on the other side of this or in another free video.